So hello and welcome. You catch me down on the beach trying to do a few little patterns and things. I think just something a little bit different. I've got a little tiny video to make, and this is also sponsored by Freewell. As you can see down here, I've got a Freewell kit and a Freewell polarization filter system on the front. So yeah, I'm doing a short video just to show a few reflections, a few patterns, and maybe a couple of seed defenses. And yeah, like I say, sponsored by Freewell. That Freewell are not actually paying me to do this little review. They have sent me the filter kit, and I just feel obliged to make a little video for them. So yeah, hopefully you're going to join me on this very short, very simple explanation video. And I thought what I'd do is start off with trying out the polarizer, see how well the polarizer works, and see if I can actually get a difference in reflection. So first of all, I'm going to take this photograph. This is just a picture of the patterns on the beach. And if you look at the post on the beach, you can see that I've got quite a prominent wooden post on the top left-hand thirds, and there's this bit of a streaking line coming down and sort of been making a bit of a reflection. And at the moment, you can sort of see the reflection and the light in the sky. So what I'm going to do now is turn the polarizer around and put the polarizer full on. And what that's going to do now is that's actually going to cut through that glare, and you can actually see through the water now and see a bit more of the colour in the bottom of the water's edge. Not the perfect way of doing it, but I'm going to move down and get a bit more reflection and show you a bit more down there. But I just like these patterns in this beach to start with, and I thought it was quite a good way of getting the ball rolling. Right, so you can see I've got this attached to the back of my tripod now, which is great. I've got this little ring on the back of my tripod which I can clip the carabiners to, so it's very easily accessible. I can get inside and take this filter pouch. You've got this nice magnetic front to the pouch, and this lovely Freewell embossed logo on the front as well. This is the V2 filter kit, and inside you have a couple of little slots so you can put your little memory cards or SD cards in, and then you can slide your pouches up with this little drawstring, which is a really good idea, and then your filters become easily accessible then from inside. You can have different size filters and different grades and things. Also inside here you've got your main compartment for your main filter attachment. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on the front of my camera and then just talk you through basically what it does. It's a large filter adapter. This then just literally clips on the front. You've got these two little locking pins on the side. Let me just show you those. Got two little locking pins on the side there, one either side, and that basically just slips it over to the ring on the front. And once it slips over on the ring, you just do them up, and that stops that from coming off, and it can't come off at all. It's really, really locked on, really, really tight. What this then is for setting up your CPL, so you can then slide this around and then lock off the pins to where you want to lock them off to. Okay, so it's a very, very simple operation. Slide it around and lock them off. What I'm going to try and do is get a polarization behind me, but I'm just going to show you first of all how this sets up and works. On the front then you've got this magnetic lens cap, fantastic lens cap with a really strong magnet on it, and you've also got this ring pull as well. So you can actually get hold of this and pull this off with the ring pull, which I think is quite a nice little idea and a good little touch to have on the front, because sometimes they're quite hard to get off. So yeah, quite a nice little idea that. You've also then got a variable on the top. Then this is going to go from 3 to 7 stops of light, which gives you your ND ratings. And again, very, very easy to use. Once your CPL is then set in position, you can then turn the front and set that up between 3 and 7. You've got a nice little arrow on the top, and you've also got these really nice, very easily clear, readable letters, numbers on the red section there as well, so you can easily see to set up what stop you want. And you can also go half stops as well. If you wanted to go to half a stop, you can go to 3.5. You can then go to 4.5. But they're set up really going 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And it's got a dead stop at each end as well, so you don't go past. It also comes inside the case. You also get this A and B lens cap. Now you're probably wondering why it's got an A and a B on it. The idea is when you undo your little locking pins, and this thing is magnetic, it's not going to sort of fall off, it's actually magnetic as well, and it actually sticks to the front of the lens. So the idea of the locking pins literally are just to secure it and hold your CPL in position. It does actually stay on there with the magnets on its own. But the idea is when you take this off, you're probably wondering, well, I've not got no lens cap on the front. The idea of this then, you can use your A cap for your, or sorry, I can say that again. So you can use your B cap as a lens cap on the front of your adapter, so it's protecting the front of your lens and keeping that lens nice and secure. And these are metal, quite solid. It sits on the front there. And all. The other thing is, if you want to protect this in your bag, you can then use the A section and put this on and make this as a cup. So now you've got a protection on both sides, and you can keep this in your bag. And then you can use this as a standard lens cap premium put over the top of it. Now, what I would have liked to have seen is 2 of these. I don't quite understand why you've got 2. I mean, you could probably attach them both. And it fits on the front, then it's protecting the back of the glass, it's protecting the back of the lens, but I would have liked to see one that goes on the back there and one that goes on the back there, and then I've got 2 to protect both. But yeah, it's a really good idea to be able to protect both the lens and make this a little packet that you can drop into your pocket and keep it nice and secure. I've got this breakwater leading down the beach, and this is another good example for using a polarizer, and it works very, very well in this case. So first of all, I'm going to take an image with the polarizer off, so I'm just going to spin it round until it's in the off position, and this is going to give me a full reflection of the groin leading down. If you look at the groin at the top, the wooden groins, and then the reflection in the bottom corner, in the bottom of the groins, you'll see that you've got perfect sort of shadow, a reflection coming from top to bottom of the image. And then if I spin the polarizer around, it cuts all the way through that glare and shine from the light, and you'll see that the difference is that you're losing that reflection and you're getting more detail coming through the actual water. And that's the idea of a polarizer, to be able to cut through glare and to change the way the image looks. You can sort of see, you can get rid of reflections in windows, you can get rid of reflections on glass, you can get rid of reflections on water. That's what a polarizer is really good for. And again, I'm going to do another one slightly further zoomed in. This is more about the reflection coming down from the bottom. So again, the first one's without the polarizer on. And also look to the right hand side of the image as well, and you'll see that the actual sand itself's going a bit darker. So yeah, pretty good. And this is with the 3-stop on as well, because this filter, it's got the built-in 3-stop, so it's going to have a 3-stop to light, and on a day like today when it's really, really bright, it doesn't really matter. But this is really just showing the difference between the polarizer, and that's all I want to do at the moment, just show that difference. And then we're going to move down to the water and try out the 3 to 7 different stops. So yeah, pretty good that. So I've had to revert to changing cameras, and I've actually flipped over now to my Osmo because the battery's died on my other camera I was recording on. So anyway, I've got this little pebble, and I'm not sure whether this image works, but it's another way of showing the polarizer, because I can see the sand down in the bottom corner. And I'll first take a picture without the polarizer on, and then I'm going to spin the polarizer around and put the polarizer on. And what this is basically doing is showing the colour of the actual texture in the sand. Because the sand is catching the reflection from the sun, it's now making it be a bit more deeper and richer with the polarizer on rather than off. Before it was sort of catching very highlighty and very bright. So yeah, I think that one works okay. Very simple little image with a little pebble and a diagonal line in it. Don't know whether it's good, but it's interesting. So I've got another one set up. I like this. This is a very different image for me. Again, polarizer off to start with. This one I'm going to sort of call asteroids, and I've got another one down there next to me as well. So I'm going to take the 2 images with the polarizer on and with the polarizer off, and you'll see the slight difference of the sheen. But this one just reminds me of some little asteroids flying through the sand, and it's pretty cool actually. I actually really like this. And there's another one here. The only problem I've got with it is I'm fighting with the sand a little bit, the tripod legs, sorry. I'm just fighting with them because I need to try and get myself in a position, but when I get myself in a position, get the angle right, my tripod shadow is in it. But yeah, I like this. I think this one's even more minimal. And again, I'm just going to call them asteroids because I just think they look a little bit like asteroids flying through the sky. So let me just check with me focusing and check when polarization is first of all off, and then I'm going to put it on. They're good. I like them. I'm going to spin it around and just get then the texture in the sand. Little asteroids flying through the sky. Very cool. And different. It's just something different. When you're on the beach and you're trying to be a bit more creative, this is the way of being creative. So there's my little asteroids done. I've got some more down here, some little asteroids flying through the sky. Absolutely fantastic. These look so cool. Again, I'm just doing a comparison for you with and without the polarizer on, and I just like the fact that I'm looking and trying to create an image out of absolutely nothing, and I think I'm succeeding. Polarizer on, polarizer off, and all the time I've got the 3-stop on as well, because it's built into this filter system. And I'm not even sure you could see me then. Right, I've come down a bit closer now, and I've got water, and I'm just watching this tide. The water's coming up next to me, which I don't particularly want. I don't want the water right up next to me because I've got a wide angle lens, so to get close to the water I've got to get close to the water. So let's have a look and see what we've got. 24mm. What I want to try and do is just get some reflections. I want to use the groins to make an image, and then I want to try and get some movement in the water as well at the same time. So set the groins up. First of all, this is going to be another one of those polarizer, non-polarizer images first. I'm on my lowest ISO. I'm going to whack my f-stop all the way up to f18, which is going to give me 1/10 of a second, which is not really enough, to be honest. You want an ND that's a bit stronger, but 3-stop on the front of the camera, on the front of this filter, the V2 filter. As the water comes up, I'm going to take the timer off, and I'm just going to hit the shutter just as the water starts to roll past me. 1, 2, and 3. That's with a 3-stop on. I'm now going to move it round to the 4-stop, and I'm going to try that for a different movement and see if I can get a slightly different movement, all the time keeping an eye on this tide and the water levels creeping up closer to me. There's some cracking waves out there, and the surfers are out there as well, but I don't particularly want the water hitting my feet. So I just want to see if there's a difference in the water movement. That's all I really want to show. The colour contrast as well, which is really good on the front of this. This camera's, you know, is showing on the back of the screen. The colour cast is really quite nice as well. So yeah, let's have a little bit more movement, and I may get a bit brave and get a bit closer, but I'm going to have to dodge my feet as I do. So while I'm waiting for the waves, I'll try out the 4 different stops. You've got the 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. I'll try them out and I'll put them up on the screen for you, because waiting for the waves could take ages. So each time you actually change the setting on the front of the camera, and I'm up to 7 stops at the moment. I'm just waiting for the water to come back in. On the back of the lens, on the back of the screen, from f18 on 3 stops, it's 1/10 of a second. And I go to 4 stops, and it takes it up to 1/5 of a second, or down, should I say. 5 stops is 2.5 second, and then 1/3 of a second, and then 1.5 for 7 stops. So yeah, it changes on the back of the screen. You can see the difference. This is 1.5 seconds now, and the water's just creeping up. So as you see the 4 images, or the 5 images I put up on the screen, you'll see with the 5 different images how the water movement changes on each image, because you're changing your shutter speed for each increment that you change your variable polarizer, your variable ND filter. I think that's it really. I think that's all I wanted to do, just show you this filter system. I'm trying not to get my feet wet. The tide's just come right up quite high just now, and I've had to retreat back a little bit without trying to get too wet, and it's coming in again for another session. The waves are getting bigger and bigger, and the tide's getting a lot closer to me as well, so I've got it on the 7 stop. I'm going for another longer exposure. This is a 1.6 seconds. It's just giving me all that nice streaky movement in the water. The tide's come right up next to me down here now, and then I'm going to drop it down and try something like an F4, which is giving me a 1/5 of a second, and that's giving me a slightly faster movement. So yeah, it gives me that opportunity to be able to spin it round very quickly and change the different speeds that I get on the actual back of the camera, which is quite good rather than having to change filters and swap them around. So yeah, if you're doing waterfall, if you're doing the sea, if you're doing movement and you want to change your variable speeds to give you a slightly different movement without having to faff around in your bag, this is definitely the option to do it. So yeah, the Freewell V2 variable ND filter 3-7 with CPL, cracking little bit of kit. That's it, job done. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you on another video very, very soon. A little bit better than this one. Not everybody likes a review, do they? But yeah, I'm just toying with the water. I might actually go for a swim later on, and there's a nice image that way as well, so we'll see what we're doing. We'll see. So I want to be honest with you, this is a slight add-on to the end of the video. I've got a couple of things really, to be honest. First of all, I'm not being paid for this. This has been sent to me for me to review and to look at and to show you. I would like to say that I've just dropped the little silver screws that go in the side. I've just unscrewed one and I've dropped it into the sand. Lucky enough I could see it and picked it back up again. But if you're in the long grass and stuff like that, it's going to disappear. So I want to be honest and say that I don't particularly like these little tiny threaded screws that are on the side. I like the idea of the principle, how they work, but I'd like to see them locking in so they don't come out. So it's a very honest review, and I will be truthful with you. So that's one thing I'm not keen on. The other thing, like I said, I like to see the extra lens cap that comes with it, rather than it being an A and a B. I'd love to see that as a 2-piece, so I can have one on the back of this, so I can keep it on the back of this, and one to keep on my lens, because I can't see the point of protecting the back of that if I can't protect my lens. My lens is more important, it costs more money than a filter, so the filter then ends up going back in its pouch without a lens cap on it. So yeah, I would like to see that split into 2, so I can have one on there and one on there. It makes more sense than having one piece that does both. Yeah. Also, on a good note, on a positive note, and we always like to end on a positive if we can, if we take the lens caps off, they've also sent me a glow mist. They've got a 1/4, a quarter glow mist, and this hasn't been opened yet. This is still in its packet because I don't really use glow mists. But the idea behind this system is you can add filters to it. So they basically sent this out to me so I can show you how it works. And I am fumbling around because I haven't got enough pockets, and when I'm on the beach, things get left in the sand. So yeah, this is the glow mist. It comes with another little lens cleaning cloth, and it also comes in this pouch. And like I say, I am fumbling around a little. Yeah, it comes in this lovely little pouch. This is the glow mist, and the idea behind this is you take this and attach it to the front. It's magnetic, so you can stick your quarter glow mist on the front. There are other filters on their line that they're doing and bringing out, so that basically attaches to the front. So this is a magnetic variable ND, which is pretty cool actually. It works pretty well. So yeah, ending on a positive, there are other filters you can get, and the glow mist, or the dark mist, or whatever they want to call this mist, the V2 glow mist, basically it just puts a slight softness to the image and works really nice in woodland photographs, or if you're doing cinematic photography and videography. So yeah, thought I'd better add that. Now I'm definitely going. Ciao for now, see you soon. And yeah, honesty, these little screws, more work.